You know what I mean?
Just something
Maybe
that you
I've
gotta
just...
troubleshoot constantly.
You ever built a PC before?
No, I was gonna build my current PC, but I don't know if it was specifically because of the whole COVID thing. All the parts that I needed wouldn't ship in until like months after I ordered them.
Probably because of COVID, I bet.
Yeah, so I decided to just go on Facebook. Oh, god damn it, Sue.
You alright?
You alright, buddy?
Oh, girl. She's fine. She's a puppy. She's malleable.
Yeah. But I decided to go on Facebook and I got in contact with, crap, I don't remember his name. But he was telling me about the PC. I went over, looked at it, and I was like, yeah. That was when I was also addicted to spending money. So I was like, ooh,
Dangerous game, man.
It was also something like in the back of my head, ooh, something that I can spend money on.
That's a dangerous game, man.
Yeah, but looking back on it, I've definitely got my investment worth.
Oh yeah, well, because
Like,
with how
return on
much
investment.
design and stuff you're doing, and then
Exactly. Like I've
Now
already
we're doing
made
the podcast,
over
too.
$1,800 with that computer, so
yeah, so well worth it, man.
well worth it.
You could make it a tax write-off, probably.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sit down
Talk about
if you would
adulting
actually be
things.
down
yeah,
to,
of course. Yeah.
because I don't know, like I would have a ton, of course.
Yeah, well, because I assume all of is your Impure thing, is that LLC yet?
Dude, so I actually don't want to do the Impure thing anymore.
Really?
I don't.
You don't want to like do website design and everything like that?
I do. I want to do website design. I want to specifically do it freelance. I don't want to. I mean, maybe down the road it'll turn into something where I do have employees and stuff like that. But I think one, I was ahead of myself. Two, I was trying to do something that wasn't aligned with myself, and I think that's why it never really like took off, was because I didn't really believe in it,
Yeah.
But now with the, I'm just trying to do me, dude. So I'm just trying to. I actually finished my freaking freelancing website.
Oh, really?
It's badass. I haven't done any hosting or anything on it yet.
What's the website?
It's just like my website, I guess.
No, but I'm saying, like, what's the URL? 'Cause you said you're not doing
I don't have it hosted yet.
Oh,
So,
okay.
But it's gonna be cholitosaldana.com.
Okay.
Yeah, just something simple like that. But on that, it's gonna be my freelancing stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm also gonna have like my own separate page, in the nav links that goes specifically to all of my creative stuff. So this Cave Dwellers podcast will be on there.
Yeah.
I don't know, all of my 3D design stuff, which
Yeah.
I don't offer that to people, but I love doing it. So that's gonna be on there. Just any creative projects that I want, it'll all be on there.
That's a good idea, man, because like we were talking about last time, I think you're very well versed in like the things you do. You know? So you're doing a lot of shit right now. In a good way.
Yeah. I think that doing a lot of shit is actually it can hold you back.
So, as in, like, you feel like you're doing a lot of things
Too much.
good instead of a couple things well?
Yeah, to where you become like a generalist. Or even if you're really good at all of them,
Yeah.
it's like, what are you going to do now that you're good at, 10 different things?
Well, it depends on how you look at it, because if you're good at 10 different things, I mean, you can use those 10 different things to create one thing, right? So, like, you're good at lifting, you're good at creative design, you're good at website design, so it's like you put together a podcast.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can use those pieces to go together. But I know what you mean by like...
I think that's good because you're pulling things from different, I don't know what that would be called, like, just different, like, events, and I don't know if that's the right word. So you said pulling from powerlifting, which is like an athletic, your athletic part of your life.
Yeah.
And then pulling from design, which is, maybe my creative side of the life. And
Yeah.
then pulling from web stuff, which is like the technical part of my life, and pulling all that together. But what I'm saying is bad is, let's say in design, I'm good at Photoshop, I'm good at Illustrator, I'm good at Cinema 4D, which is the 3D design.
Right.
And I'm good at, video thing. But it's like, what's the point of being good at all of these things in the same category when you can't really excel as much as you probably could if you were to choose
You
one.
feel like more like a jack of all trades than a master.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I guess,
no, I get that. But I mean, kind of where I was going with that is it's like, okay, so being a small business owner and a personal trainer, like, okay, obviously I have to master training, right? Like I need to be the best personal trainer I can be.
Yeah.
But I also need to wear the marketing hat. I also need to wear the social media hat. I also need to wear the customer relations hat. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that a lot of like big projects you take on take many small scale subsets. Does that make sense?
It does. I think you would just have to make sure that you understand exactly what you need to do with those subsets.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because if you're just going in there, you know, with kind of like a general idea, but you don't really know exactly what you're doing, I guess that goes with everything, not just in this fact. Then what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you're not being efficient.
What's your course of action then?
In what?
I don't know. You sounded not satisfied with that.
So I'm actually really satisfied with my website, dude.
Yeah.
Like, so the problem that I was having with Impure and stuff was I didn't know what it was for, so I didn't know how to create it, you know. But now that it's mine, you know, I kind of, like, I actually fell in love with the design and the interactions of the website.
Yeah.
And so it was just so much more, like, easy to fall in love with it instead of trying to make myself or convince myself that I like it. So it just feels more, yeah, the Impure felt really forced. And it felt like I was just lying to myself. But wasn't your Monday email?
Yeah.
Wasn't it about lying to yourself?
This week, no. But
No?
I'm sure I've had one about lying to yourself before. Yeah.
You want to go to Monday emails?
Yeah, let's go. Let me pull it up real quick. This week's, like 50 texts, man.
I read it, but I forgot what it was.
No, you're good. You're good. I should have had it ready. I'm not trying to pull it off the top of the dome here. Monday email. I gotta start putting more of them into the website too. I only put a couple in there. All right. Scroll. I put them all in one Google Doc, so this Google Doc is literally like 40 pages right now.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So this is Monday email number 32. That stubborn fat area.
Yeah.
We've all got that one spot that you can't seem to lose the fat from. Upper back, hips, lower back, love handles, you name it, somebody struggles with it. What's your spot?
Lower belly.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is like lower back and like love handles.
Behind the love handles?
Dude, I'll have love handles until I'm like 4 weeks out of a show.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's like the last like couple pounds always come from like just that.
Is it muscle love handles or is it like...
No. I'm talking about like fat love handles, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. That's just where I hold it. That and my ass. Unfortunately, so many damn supplement and money
Alice got
hungry...
bubble butt.
What?
I said Alice got
Yeah, I
bubble
got them
butt.
boots, man. Unfortunately, so many damn supplements and money-hungry fitness companies want to profit off of your insecurities, claim that their products can magically burn stubborn belly fat or whatever they market it as. So you know how supplements like aren't regulated by the FDA?
Yeah.
None of this bullshit is regulated. So these guys can just make these claims all day of like burn belly fat. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. At the end of the day, you can't spot reduce body fat. However, here's some things you can do to improve the specific area you struggle with. Build lean tissue at the area. So this is just kind of saying like, okay, if we can't spot reduce body fat, we can at least, she's just gnawing on you.
Yeah.
We can at least build tissue around the area, right?
Yeah.
So I can work a little bit more on my obliques, on my rectors, on this area to hopefully maybe not lose the fat around there, but shape it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So that's always an option. Increase movement. So this is a pretty simple one, right? You just up your movement, hoping to burn a few extra calories, hoping to get some extra.
What should do
extra
the
lbs
overall
off that.
fat?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like you're about to read.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. No, you're exactly right. Yeah, because all you can do is you try to reduce your total body fat, and same thing here is just reduce caloric intake. So same approach. Just trying to get that body fat down to get body fat off the total area. So that's one of the things I think a lot of my clients struggle with too, is they want weight to go off of a certain, part of their body, and it's like
Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way, man.
I think it does work that way, but only if you can do, like you said in the email, build the lean muscle tissue in that area. Yeah. But for places like your love handles and like the bottom of your belly, there's not really much you can do except maybe, beltless squats and beltless deadlifts.
Yeah.
But even with that, you're you're not going to get a pump or anything.
Right. You can do whatever kind of core musculature training you want to do, but at the end of the day, it definitely comes down to reducing that body fat. And, you know, I think there's some pretty good research out there on, like, hormones and the way your body carries fat. That's for damn sure, but that's way out of my scope. I don't know anything about that.
That's almost like the cortisol levels.
Yeah.
That you were telling me about.
Like when your stress hormones high.
Yeah. So when I was trying to lose a ton of weight, I think we talked about this last time, but I hit a plateau, and you were talking to me about specifically the cortisol levels. I don't know if that's a hormone. It is, right?
Cortisol, yeah, it's a stress hormone.
Cortisol. And you were just explaining to me how, like, it was really high since, you know, I was eating like 700 calories, working out like 2 times a day.
Oh yeah.
Every day.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as, and you know, I was sleeping barely, but as soon as I reduced, or, you know, I'm assuming that I reduced the cortisol levels. You know, I started sleeping more, eating more.
Absolutely.
Working out less, actually recovering.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fat actually started burning off so much faster.
Yeah.
So.
You know what's kind of funny is one of my long-term clients, Janet, the woman I told you that's trying to deadlift 300 pounds.
Yeah.
She just got out of her losing phase for the first time. Like, we're actually in a gaining phase now.
Oh, gaining weight?
Yeah.
Hey.
So she's like 152, I think. I don't remember off the top of my head, but she was eating like 1,300 calories a day, so I bumped her up to 1,600. And her weigh-in average was down this week, having 300 calories extra every day. Which, like, you do the math, that's like 2/3 of a pound of extra calories a day.
That's crazy.
So yeah, but it's like that stress hormone goes down. You can output a little bit more. You move a little bit more. Like,
those are the key points.
I don't think it's as simple as just pulling calories and doing more.
Let me make sure. Okay, it is recording.
It is. You're good. No, you're good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I won't go through the rest because that's just pretty much wrapping it up. I kept it relatively simple this week. But yeah, I think where that email stemmed for me wasn't even necessarily the topic, more so just the companies that prey on people's insecurities as far as, like, hey, you want to burn that lower belly fat, you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's those companies that make those claims that just drive me insane, because all they're doing is preying off people who are insecure and want, you know, the quick, easy result. I'm
sure that there are some things out there that actually work. I don't think that anything over the counter that you can get legally is gonna work. No. But there's stuff like there's a stuff called DNP, and actually I was trying to get a hold of it. My friend Adil is currently trying to get a hold of it.
Is this just like an anabolic or what?
So listen to this. I believe it's an oral, but so pretty much what it is, you take it and it literally heats your body up from the inside. And so people have died from this, from literally like your insides cooking.
So why the fuck are you trying to take it?
Oh, I'm not trying to take it anymore. Oh, okay. Yeah. The risk is just too much.
It's probably just like an old school bodybuilding, like 4 weeks out thing, right? Like they just take it to up.
I'm honestly not even sure about that.
Yeah. It sounds like something that's used as like trying to get lean as all hell in the last few weeks of like a show prep, or maybe like I don't know, like a prep for a powerlifting meet or something like that.
Yeah, probably. But this guy, I think his name is Tony something. He has a YouTube channel, but he was talking about his experience with it, either him or his friend. But that at nighttime, he was literally sweating yellow, and like his whole bed sheets were just covered in yellow sweat. I don't know if that's because like that's the color of the fat, but
I don't have an answer to that, man. But what I'll say is, like, one of the biggest reasons I think I've strayed away from anabolics is honestly, like, because side effects like that freak me out, man. They really do, because it's like, man, imagine what's happening to your body when you're sweating enough liquid that, like, it's perceivably a different color. You know what I mean?
Crazy, yeah.
Like, to me, that ain't right, man.
It can't be right. It's not natural, man.
Yeah.
Do you know who? Fuck. I need to get better with names. I think his name is Dave Hoff, the breathing guy, like
Wim Hof.
Wim Hof.
Dang I know Wim Hof.
Yeah, Wim
man,
Hof.
That's the dude right there.
Oh my God, amazing. But he was talking about, you know, breathing and stuff. Like that's his whole thing.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to life. And
he's done some incredible things with breathing technique.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, all the caffeine that I take, I take clenbuterol, I take clomiphene, you know, and I did do steroids for that one cycle.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, why? You know, like you have this dude, Wim Hof, who's accessing all these parts. I don't know if it's of his mind, but it's also, you know, it has to be physical too, because he's doing some crazy physical feats. But, you know, why am I taking, you know, all of this exogenous BS? And like, what is it actually even doing to my body? You know,
Instant
negatively.
gratification.
Yeah, instant. That is. Yeah,
Instant
that's exactly what it
gratification.
is.
It's I want the result now, and I want the side effects, and I want the work later. You know,
Yeah.
which isn't to discredit any hard work that you put in, but it's like, I know every time that I've even thought about taking anabolics or test, and again, I'm sure there's going to be a day that rolls around that I finally decide to,
Mhm.
but every time, man, I always end up in the school of thought, like, I could be training harder, I could be dieting better, I could be recovering better. Like, I have all these other ducks to get in a row before I add that next level of complexity.
Because at that point, if you don't reach those things that you should be doing before the fact, then it is instant gratification.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk too down the road because, you know, you never know what'll happen. But like, I really wanted to, like, and I still do. I really want to hit like as close to a genetic peak, or you know, I want to get as close as possible to tipping out before you open that next door.
Yeah,
you know, because to me, if you've hit that point, I don't want to use the word mastered, but it's like, okay, if I'm at a point where I'm whatever 5'6" and I'm 180 pounds at whatever 6% body fat on stage, like,
that's hella impressive.
To me, yeah, that's 20 more pounds of lean tissue on me, man, even more so. And so, at that point, that's when it's like, okay, maybe now I can open this next door. And
Yeah,
I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's smaller, maybe it's bigger, but like, I always think to myself every time I've thought that, it's like, no, I could do more. I could train harder. I could sleep more. I could eat cleaner. I could walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, that's another big reason I never opened that next door of complexity.
Because it's like,
I don't think I
haven't
earned it.
earned it.
Yeah, I don't think I earned it.
Yeah.
You know, I think you got to earn it.
Mm-hmm. I finally reached that point where, you know, I told myself that I earned it, and I think that I did.
Yeah, you're the strongest fucking teen in the world. I'd say you owned it, man. You earned it. Yeah.
It was kind of scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying, man.
And it sucks, dude. Well, it sucks, but it doesn't suck. It sucks because that was my first and my last steroid cycle. I didn't get to utilize it because of COVID.
Yeah.
But then it's also good because, you know, without the COVID thing and without, you know, I'm sure that if I was to, you know, put up some crazy numbers, maybe I would have had a change of heart when it comes to losing the weight, you know?
Yeah.
So.
As in not wanting to lose the weight?
Yeah, you never know. I think I would have still lost the weight. But I think that if COVID didn't happen, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be home eating.
Yeah, you think
maybe taking a nap.
Yeah.
But fate, dude.
Oh yeah,
it's all fate.
Everything happens for a reason, man. But it's interesting to say the least.
Those look like some waiter shoes.
These some waiter shoes?
Not waiter like hostess, like waiter like the lake.
Oh, like water shoes? Yeah, these are Vivo Barefoot. They I have two other pairs, but so
ergonomic.
Ergonomic. I'm not sure what that even means. Those are like comfy chairs. When people say ergonomic, I think of the chairs that are like good for your posture or whatever.
Oh, really?
But no, these suckers, they have no sole, or I say they have no sole. There's like almost no padding. Yeah, so it's supposed to be as close as you can get to walking barefoot.
That looks comfortable, man.
I like them a lot. Yeah, this is my like third pair I bought. My parents got me my first pair for Christmas last year, and they were just an all black pair, and I was wearing them like every day. So I bought one pair, I don't know, like half a year ago, and then these just came in the mail like 2 or 3 days ago.
Do they last long?
Oh yeah, yeah. My favorite thing about them is there's this wide toe box, so my feet aren't cramped. Dude. So then I can really because I got fucking hobbit feet, man. My foot is like a rectangle. You know? So, but anyways.
That's like my squat shoes. They're wide toe. They just feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I would wear my old shoes, and they'd be all cramped in the front, and then you literally feel your toes like touching each other.
I used to
like,
wear.
overlapping.
I used to legit have like 10 to 15 pairs of Vans that I would just cycle through and wear all the time. But once I started wearing these, and I realized like how much mobility I had at my toes and like the way my foot feels, I had to get rid of all my Vans. I still have like one pair, I think, but when I wear them, like I notice my knee starts to bug me because my foot's cramped, so like it affects the way my stride. Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's interesting. I've really become hyper conscious of like just movement patterns, I guess.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm hyper analytical.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, just because I'm.
But
like,
is this like recent?
It's always been, but like recently, I've really been trying to be just more conscious with everything. Like, especially like my lifting and my yoga and walking and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I've really noticed like, I don't want to say how jacked up my body is because everybody's body's jacked up.
Yeah.
But like, I've really taken notice to like ways I move that I don't like. You know, things I would like to be more efficient, or like, not that there's necessarily a right or wrong, but like, there's definitely things that I watch myself go through, like a one-leg RDL or like some sort of stability exercise.
Those are weird, bro.
I'm like, something's not right here. You know what I mean?
How do you think that you can actually become like conscious about that stuff? Because I'm sure
Attention.
that all of the attention. Now, how do you? I get paying attention in specific moments, but how do you constantly pay attention to yourself and what you're doing?
You mean like working out or just in general? Because when I'm lifting, man, I'm like...
Yeah, let's say lifting.
If I'm lifting and my head's where it should be and I'm doing the things I need to be doing, like, I'm strictly internal the whole time, man. So there's not a rep I do where I'm not hyper-focused and paying attention to the way things are contracting and moving. But, like, if I'm just walking around day to day, I mean, that's a different story.
Oh, so you don't do it like...
Not when I'm just like, no, not ever.
What about when you're doing tasks and stuff?
As in...
So, like, let's say you had to do a couple things during the day for your to-do list. Are you present when you're doing those, or are you just like, you know, all right, autopilot mode?
Depends what it is. I really try to not be autopilot mode ever. Maybe sometimes if I'm like driving and I'm just trying to turn my brain off.
Yeah.
But I do my best to try to always be present and in the moment. Sometimes I listen to a lot of podcasts, and sometimes I think that might be my way of thinking I'm present but not really being present, you know, kind of tricking myself.
Yeah.
But I've kind of been in this zone recently where I almost look at my workouts like meditation, man. Like it's really like I'm just focused on the way my body feels and the movements I'm going through.
Is that considered bodybuilding?
I don't know. I think you consider bodybuilding just striving for the improvement of your physique through challenge in the gym.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
know?
that makes sense.
But I guess that's bodybuilding with a lowercase b, right? Like bodybuilding with a capital B, that's... yeah, exactly. That's fucking...
Ain't no but a peanut!
That's that YouTube channel, Machiavelli Motivation. You know that
Oh
one?
my god.
Where
Hell
they just have
them.
like every bodybuilder like hardcore training regime. Like there's like there's one where it's like you ever seen Rich Piana's 8-hour arm workout?
I saw the title. There was no way in hell I was gonna watch that video though.
No, dude, no way. But like the premise is, and I'm gonna butcher this, I'm sure, but it's literally like you do like 4 sets or 8 sets of biceps and triceps every 30 minutes, and then you're supposed to have a protein shake and like a Pop-Tart or some shit after every one. So you're talking about 8 protein shakes and 8 Pop-Tarts across 8 hours and however many sets, 64 sets.
Just doing bicep curls and tricep extensions.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Yeah,
What?
dude. And so I heard about this when I was like 16.
Yeah, that's
one of my buddies tried it. I think he only made it like halfway through. But I'll never forget, like, the reason that I was like, I'm not going to do that is at the end he was like, I guarantee each arm grows by an inch. Or he said something like that. And I'm sure again, I haven't listened to this in forever. And I actually have, I know I'm shooting shit right now. I have a lot of respect for Rich.
Yeah,
but
he's a bad one.
To me, that was pretty memey. I thought that was pretty funny.
I think that if you were like maybe 275 pounds and you did that, you would grow an inch for maybe like the first 2 hours. People
don't realize like how big an inch is.
Yeah, I don't.
As far as like circumference on a muscle, because like and I haven't measured my arms in forever. So, you know, if my arms are 15 inches each, and I add another inch, like you're gonna notice.
Yeah.
Like the next time you see me, you're gonna
Like,
think.
"Whoa,
You're gonna think. Yeah, you're gonna
look
think,
at juicy."
You're gonna say like, dude, you look jacked. Like you're.
Yeah.
That's a really noticeable thing.
Yeah.
You know. So.
But when you got Rich Piano arms, like 30-inch arms, I wonder how big his arms. Do you know?
Peak? I don't know. To me, once you pass 20, it's like that's just a big ass arm. It doesn't even matter anymore. It's just like, all right, that's a big arm, man.
I think I have like 19 and a half right now.
Yeah.
Used to have 26, bro.
You don't even really be training arms like that, though, do you?
I don't.
Yeah.
As of lately, I've been doing biceps just because they're fun, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I never do biceps.
Yeah.
Or I guess I would always do hammer curls. But you know the way that I lift. I don't lift specifically, you know, for one muscle. So I've been, like, trying to...
Fucking Arnold.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Shot put curls.
Yeah, bro, just... like 120
me,
pounds.
That's not me, man.
I remember this guy named Power Ramirez. He did like 80 pounds on shoulder raises.
Yeah.
And I think I was like 19 or something. I was like, fuck.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, because he was like 18. I was like, damn, I can't let him outdo me. So I had the ammonia snaps, and I strapped up, got the 120s, and somehow did shoulder raises with 120s, bro. That adrenaline.
You're probably squatting and swinging, though, man.
Probably, dude. Hell yeah. You know me, bro. Come on.
That's hilarious.
There's no way I'm doing strict anything.
You know what's funny, man? Like, I don't want to say never, but I was pretty humbled early on in my lifting career because my first training partner, Isaac Cordy, was strong as a brick shit house, and we weighed the same. So I was humbled from day one, man.
Yeah,
when I say,
like, whoa.
when I'm saying, yeah, because like, man, we would deadlift, and I'm serious. We were 16 or 17 at the time, and this guy's pulling like 440, 450.
That's
he
hella
weighs
impressive, dude.
We're both like $160, $155, somewhere in there.
That's stupid impressive.
Yeah, and I'm doing like 315 top set if I'm lucky, you know. So it was super impressive. But so I think it really just humbled me from day one, and like, you know, same thing. My buddy Ty came and worked out with us, and within like 2 months, he was deadlifting more than me.
He went to Prosper, right?
Ty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ty
Bowman.
No. Yeah, Bowen?
Bowman, yeah.
Bowman, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Ty Bowman. Isn't that one of my sister's friends? Her name is Trinity. I think her name is Trinity Bowen.
Bowman. Yeah.
Bowman.
That's his sister.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get that last name.
Yeah. Anyways, where I was going with that though is just like, okay, if I'm pretty much since I was 16 and I started lifting, like I was never the strongest, I was never the biggest, I was never the leanest. Like, so for me, it was never about like I see somebody doing something and I gotta match it. It was like I just gotta do what's best for me, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
Which like
that's a good ass mindset, bro.
Well, I guess, man.
It's a healthy. I think it's healthy.
I think more of it was just like, I don't know. I didn't want to defeat myself, you know. Because if I had came into it with that mentality, I would have quit a long time ago.
You think so? That wouldn't have driven you?
Well, maybe, but like, I was always. I was a loser growing up, man, and I don't mean that in a way of like, but I was just like the fat kid. Like I was on the losing team. I was picked last in sports. Like so, I never.
So it was very discouraging.
Yeah. So like, for me, lifting was always about me doing more than what I did the last time. You know.
Okay.
So I guess I'm competitive with myself, but
you're very competitive with yourself. Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like because to me, I look at someone else and I'm like, that's a different set of circumstances. It's not a fair comparison. You know? But I'm a fair comparison to me. So that's just kind of the way I've always thought about it. So I've never been like, oh, you're curling the 30s, I'm going to do the 35s. You know what I mean? Now, I guess it's one thing to be like, you know, if you have a training partner or whatever and you're shooting the shit, like I guess that's different.
Yeah,
but it was never like, I don't know. I was never in the business of trying to be the biggest, baddest motherfucker. Yeah, it was always about me just trying to get a little better at being me, you know?
That's funny because I had the exact opposite. I was everything that you're saying that you didn't want to be.
Yeah.
I remember, I guess like always since like middle school, there's these two athletes, Austin and Chris Miller. Chris Miller, he's actually a football player for Baylor right now.
Really?
Yeah. And then Austin, I don't remember his last name.
Was that like one of your first training partners?
No, we were just like best friends from middle school, and then in high school he tried to be, you know, the cool kid, and he was, but I was like the cool kid, but still hang around with, like, I guess not the cool kids, but the actual fun kids.
Yeah.
That were themselves.
Yeah.
And weren't afraid to just laugh at themselves and stuff.
You seem like you've always been good with you know.
Yeah,
you
dude.
seem like you've never had to like put on a show or, you know.
Yeah, and people like him, no disrespect to Chris, but he would always try to like, you know, put on that tough face and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would always break through it, dude, and always make him laugh, and he looked like ashamed when he would laugh. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You know, I know you since like middle school.
That's just the alpha male dude thing, man. Like,
you
gotta be cool. You can't laugh, you can't smile. Like,
I don't like that.
I mean, I've done that before for sure. But especially when I was prepping for my first show, man.
Makes sense.
When I was prepping for my first show, I was just like, first of all, I treated it like I was prepping for the Olympia. Like I really,
I love that, dude.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I was like, I don't know. It was like the teenage division at a local show. Granted, it was a pro qualifier, so like it was a pretty big show. But,
yeah, that's important.
Yeah, but I placed dead last. So,
damn.
Yeah, I remember.
Did that motivate you, or?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, it did. I was in the gym the next morning.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think it humbled me more than anything. I think it humbled me more than motivated me.
Like, when you say humbled, do you mean like it was like, okay, let me step back, and let me figure out, you know, what I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was convinced I was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Only because, you know, at the time I was watching a lot of Pumping Iron, and I was probably, honestly, when I was doing my first prep, I was probably more interested and involved in the bodybuilding world than ever. Mm-hmm. Like, at that time, I wanted to be an IFBB pro.
Yeah.
And keeping in mind my first stage appearance was absolute dog shit. And I'm not saying that as like, I'm proud of it because it was, you know, big progress from where I was, but it was I was definitely way in over my head.
Mm-hmm.
But where I was going with that is like, you know, you hear all these stories of like Arnold only ever won shows, like he only lost one, you know what I mean? And there's all these guys that's like never lost a show, always won shows. Ronnie Coleman, you know what I mean? And I was like, so I'm gonna win my first show. You know, like that's just how it goes. You know, when you're gonna be when you're gonna be a bodybuilding legend, you just win.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I was like, oh, okay. So I got last.
Uh-huh.
And I just sort of, I don't know, man. I guess I just hit the drawing board, and I was like, all right, I just got to work harder. You know?
I like that, dude.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I go with things. I feel like I accept things pretty well.
Uh-huh.
So when I had, you know, I was like, okay, last, accept it, ate the L, and just got right back on. You know.
That's cool.
And what's funny is when I was prepping for the next one, like I didn't have nearly as much pressure on myself. I was eating way more. I wasn't training. I was training less. I was still training intensely, but I was training less. I mean, you know, you were around.
Yeah, and that made it better, right?
Dude, fuck yeah. Yeah, my calories were always at least 400 or 500 higher every day than my lowest, you know, in the first prep. I wasn't doing nearly as much cardio. And I won.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember.
And I had on
your website.
Yeah, I could have cared like that. Yeah.
That is such a dope
I could have cared less. Man, you know what's funny, and I'm just reminiscing now because again, and then we're talking about classic physique class A's, novice. So we're talking about the short guys that haven't competed much. So it's not a huge deal. But I'll never forget.
No, bro, you looked crazy.
I appreciate that.
At show.
I appreciate that. But what I will say, man, is like, I'll never forget. I was on the outside, and I thought I had second place because there's 4 guys, and I thought I had second. And I'll never forget when they swapped me with the guy that I thought had first, and they put me in the middle, and I was like, oh shit. But then what happened, man, is they swapped us right before abs and thigh.
Uh-huh.
And I can hit a pretty mean vacuum, and quads are my strongest point. So I was like, oh man, this might be in the bag. So that was really cool.
Bro, your vacuum was insane.
You know, I don't have a lot going for me in my bodybuilding look, but I can hit a gnarly vacuum.
Yeah, you can, bro.
Yeah.
That's just great. Your stomach gets like this right here.
Yeah, when I measured it, I don't remember if it was 24 or 23 inches when I was on stage last.
That's crazy. So my arm was bigger than your freaking stomach.
Dude, I don't remember what the number was, and it's on that Instagram post somewhere, but of that picture that you photoshopped in last time, or edited in last time. I mean, that one, your leg was like, it was either 6 or 8 inches bigger than my waist without a vacuum. So yeah, it's pretty weird to think about, right?
It is, man. It is.
But yeah.
Still, you a crazy motherfucker, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been thinking about competing again, just because.
Just entertaining it, or?
Well, just because, and I've talked to Brianna about this a lot. I'm like the best me when I'm in prep. Just as far as like how disciplined I am, and like how regimented I am, and how seriously I take the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really feel like I do the most in my business, in my definitely my social media.
All your other areas of life?
Yeah, it's almost like and now now that I got a house and dogs and I'm committed to Brianna, like now of course that gets a lot more complicated and it's not my number one priority, but like yeah, man. When I was prepping for the Kuplo that was gonna happen this year, before it got canceled because of COVID, like I was cruising, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's cool.
It was awesome. So it's almost just like, I guess, having an external goal that's not like one that I set, but it's like, hey, I got to be ready for this show.
Purpose.
Versus, yeah, like in my training journal right now, like I want to look like X on December 31st, which isn't quite the same. It's not the same accountability, I guess. Yeah. If that's the right way to put it.
Yeah, because at that point, you're making like a commitment or a promise to yourself that you have to uphold. Yeah. Because that's your integrity. That's literally who you are. Right. So. Right. It's like completely aligned with you. Yeah. And if you fail at that, or if you fail at that, knowing, hey, Cor, if you fail at that, knowing that you didn't do all that you could have done, that's where, it's on you.
Yeah, it's on you. Yeah.
And that's when you start questioning yourself.
But there's accountability to that too, though. It's like, oh, you're going to be on stage in front of several hundred people next to your peers. Like, better do your cardio. Better not eat that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Good girl. They're sweet, man.
So what you got going on for Thanksgiving, man? You probably already told me, but I need a reminder.
Dude, we don't have like any plans. My parents leave. This is their last weekend here, so we did like a Thanksgiving thing with them here a couple weekends ago. And we're trying to figure out if we're doing anything with her family or not. I'm taking off work, but besides that, I don't know. Are y'all doing anything?
We were gonna have like a bunch of people over, but with the like COVID cases increasing and stuff, my mom decided that it's just gonna be us.
Probably smart to keep it low key.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really curious if after Thanksgiving, like, stuff is gonna get serious or not.
I don't know what's gonna happen, man. Well, one of my clients was telling me that, and this could be, maybe not very reliable, but apparently there's a website that you can put in like the county, how many people are gonna be at the event, and then like the space that you're going to be in, and it'll give you like a percentage of your likeliness to get it.
Oh,
and she and this client, she was telling me that her, if she went to her family's Thanksgiving in this certain county in Kansas, that there was going to be like a 90% chance that someone there has it. So it's like, that's a pretty high, and I don't know how, I'm sure that algorithm has it. Yeah, but it's like, okay, whatever it is, if it's pumping out percentages that high, it's like, that's, you want to give some credit to that. You want to acknowledge that.
The weird thing to me is the fact that, like, we're hitting record highs or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's in deaths, but I know in contractions we are. Mm-hmm. But those precautions aren't being taken like they were in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna ever hit a point where 100% of people are on board with the masks and the distancing and the shutdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be more of a factor of like, how do we learn to live with this?
I wonder, do you think that it will become a normal thing? Just wearing masks and.
I mean, it's definitely already become a normal thing. Do you mean like if it's going to be a normal thing?
If it's going to be like a stay thing, like
probably. I was going to say I feel like we got Because man, you remember when this started, which of course nobody knew anything about it, but it was like, oh, we're gonna be quarantined for a month and then that'll be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which of course we didn't take it as seriously as we should have.
Turned into like 4 months.
Yeah. Well, and now we're in November and this shit started in March. You know, so that's 8 months.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Definitely gonna be bummed if gyms shut down again.
Yeah.
You know who Lee Priest is? Bodybuilder. Short guy.
I believe so. Yeah.
The giant killer.
He had like crazy triceps.
Yeah, he's known for his arms.
Yeah.
He posted this thing on Instagram the other day, and was just saying, you know, the world is an upside down thing when gyms are shut and McDonald's is considered an essential business.
It's all about the money, man.
Yeah, dude, it really is, and it's like that's just nuts to me. That it's like you can shut down a place where people focus on developing their health, wellness, and for most people keep their mental sanity.
That, yeah.
But, you know, we can leave open fucking McDonald's
is just probably killing people left and right.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude, crazy.
Maybe not. Would that be like indirectly killing people?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, you ever heard of that Super Size Me documentary?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I didn't watch it, but
I've
heard this. So maybe you can give me the premise then. It's like for 30 days the dude eats nothing but McDonald's, and then if they ask him if he wants to supersize it,
he has to say
right?
yes. Yeah. I don't remember exactly like how much he gained, but like his blood pressure, cholesterol, all of that just all the way up.
Okay, and so you know what's interesting about that to me, and of course this is way different than what I'm about to say because this dude was eating McDonald's 3 times a day for a month. But I read this article.
7-Eleven?
7-Eleven.
Oh, never mind.
No. I read this article several years ago, and this guy was eating a large pizza, I think from Domino's, every day. He's a power lifter. Or maybe he was like a CrossFit guy. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But aside from that, he was eating like 100% clean as far as just meat and vegetables, lots of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't doing any other bullshit. But he was having a large pizza every day. And all of his health, and I think it was either a year or like 6 months or something. It was like a long time. And all of his health markers increased.
Like, increased better or for
better.
Oh, yeah.
Which, so it was interesting because it was like, okay, this dude's having a large pizza every day, but granted, he's hyperactive, he's powerlifting, and his diet is perfect otherwise.
That's the key.
Well, it just makes you think, right? Because it's like, you know, how much freedom and flexibility do we really have to still be, you know, health-centric, right? Now, of course, in a perfect world, you're not doing any of the pizza bullshit, but it's like, to me, that's pretty cool to know that you can get all these incredible health effects and still have whatever you consider your freedom, your cheat, your you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I thought that was super interesting. But yeah, when you're talking about something like Super Size Me, that's a different ball game.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like when you hear about Michael Phelps and him eating, wasn't it like pounds and pounds of pasta every night?
Yeah, dude just carving up.
Yeah, but it's because
he's burning whatever 15,000 calories a day or something like that. Yeah.
Can you imagine burning? I remember when I was losing weight, I had one of those fitness watches.
Yeah.
And I went for actually a 3-mile run, and I think I was like 280 pounds then.
Wow.
And I also went for like a long ass walk, but in that time I burned like 4,000, or in that day I burned like 4,000 calories. And I was thinking, like, that is crazy.
It's a lot, man. That's a lot. Well, because, you know, who knows how accurate those things are. But when you do the math on it, that's 3,500 calories we can assume is a pound of adipose tissue. Like,
what is adipose?
Fat tissue.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, the yellow fat, like,
yeah.
gross stuff you see. Yeah, like that. But that's super interesting, man. Were you ever doing jump rope?
I love jump rope. Because
I'm thinking about adding it in. Because I don't know, man. I love bodybuilding and everything, but I've been too like bodybuilding centric. So I've been working on I've been doing a lot of yoga and stability stuff recently, but I would definitely like to add in something that actually like really increases my heart rate.
Have you been doing any cardio?
I always walk, but as far as like intense cardio, I can't tell you the last time I did like an intense session of cardio.
Do it.
In a minute.
I think you would love it.
I think I would too. And
it's freeing.
And you know the thing is too, and I've just been thinking about this recently, but I've told you this before, but I really don't train legs often, just because they blow up and they're already bigger than they should be.
Yeah, you got some fucking balloon legs, bro.
Yeah.
Not like lack of definition, just muscle size.
Yeah, and they've just always developed easier than anything. And I think most of that is genetic.
You lucky motherfucker.
Well, most of that is genetic, and I have a lot of elastin in my tissue, so I've always like had really good squat mechanics without having to try too hard.
Yeah.
But where I was going with that is like, okay, well, I lost points even though I won the division, I lost points for my legs being too big.
Oh, really?
I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like kind of chill on training legs, which I thought was fine. It's like, cool, it'll give me a chance to focus on upper body. But what I've really found is like, to me, there's no training hard like there is training legs hard, you know? And so I think that's something I would really like to incorporate again as well. Because to me, there's no cardio output, there's no caloric burn, there's no into the depths then
because it's hard,
training
dude.
fucking legs, man.
Like upper body, it's fun.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I'm not saying that lower body isn't fun, but it takes a lot more effort.
To me, there's not nearly as much mental fortitude required to train upper body.
Exactly.
Unless I guess you can get deep, dark into the depths of like a set of rows or a set of pull-ups or something.
But even at that,
I mean?
that's lower body. Doing rows and stuff. Or I'm thinking of
barbell rows.
Yeah, barbell
but you're
rows.
still like stabilizing, sure.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
So there's something about, I don't know. But yeah, man. I mean, we'll take this conversation as my promise to stop training like a bitch. Stop training like a bitch.
Start.
Yeah.
Start.
I've thought that for a while, man. I've been a little too soft ever since that show got canceled.
Soft as in like muscle wise, or soft as in like
both?
Okay.
Both.
Like
both.
doing shit.
Yeah, both. Yeah. And especially and of course it's always hard to make comparisons, but like I just think about like workouts I used to have when I was first starting bodybuilding. As far as now, what I'm doing now is a hell of a lot more bang for my buck, just in ability to contract and actual skill set.
Yeah.
But as far as like intensity and effort and mindset, I have just been off my game most of the year, man.
Yeah. But you've had a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like I haven't been doing anything. I've been really focused on building my business and developing that, which
and
arguably is more important.
And moving into
exactly, buying a house. Yeah. Which
that's a lot.
Yeah, which arguably is a hell of a lot more important. But I think just because I bought a house and built my business doesn't mean I can't train hard too.
Yeah, sure.
It's just been lower on the totem pole.
Is that because of like energy wise, or it's literally just like you haven't really been, I guess, putting what you need to?
I think it's just been an energy wise thing.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm also a paralysis by analysis guy, so I'm like, most nights I'm sleeping 6 or 7 hours a night, so I'm like, well, I'm not optimally recovered, so why would I train?
Come on, motherfucker! I'll spray you.
Yeah, exactly.
Telling me to sleep. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's like, I think I just don't live up to my own expectations, man. Which I'm sure, most of us are like that.
I'm sure your expectations are like all the way up here,
kinda,
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's brought you this far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying lower them or anything.
Yeah.
But give yourself a chill pill, man. Sometimes. How are you with your like chill times? Like, do you gift yourself some good like just calming down and laying off of work and thinking and just doing?
I do pretty good about like being done with work when I get home at night. Because right now I'm training Monday through Thursday, so I'm doing like 12 or 14-hour days Monday through Thursday. But then I'm off Friday through Sunday. I write some workouts Friday mornings and get some other stuff done. But like, so as far as that goes, I'm pretty much just working Monday through Thursday. I do a pretty good job of waking up early enough to like read and meditate a little bit, walk the dogs, stuff like that. But as far as like chilling and taking time for me, I don't think I really do that, man.
Do you think that would help you?
For sure.
Yeah.
For
so
sure.
Why don't you?
I'm too high in industriousness, man. I like doing stuff.
Ready to go.
I like moving. Yeah, and it's definitely not optimal, but I'm like, man, it's driving me nuts that I haven't, brushed these or raked these leaves.
Dude, I was going to rake it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, no point.
Yeah, and that's the thing is when we moved in here, granted I didn't even think about that. So it's fine. They're just leaves or whatever. But you know what I mean? I'm just always like, dude, when I say I could always do something, I really could. And I noticed that a lot with my business too when Brianna and I were on the way home from Arkansas last weekend, because we were sitting in the car and I let her drive for a bit so I could get some work done. And I literally sat on my phone and I did nothing but work for like probably 45 minutes to an hour. And like, I was just thinking to myself, like, man, I could sit down for 12 hours and work on my phone and still have stuff to do.
On your phone?
Yeah, just as far as communicating with clients, writing programs, developing the website, developing new articles, researching, learning. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So
would it be beneficial for you to get a tablet?
It's funny you said that because I've been thinking about that.
Because it sounds like
huge write-off.
I hate doing work on this.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
I would much rather bring my laptop and then use a hotspot and use that just because of how small this is.
Whatever it is, I got to be able to text on it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my thing is like communicating with clients, like how you feeling, how's it, you know what I'm saying? And usually I do text. I guess I could just email them, but yeah.
What's more convenient,
Exactly. That's kind of my thought process. Yeah. But so, but I don't know, man. I think it's kind of one of those things where it's like I don't create the time. I just need to. There's nothing besides that.
What's wrong, man? Is that something that you probably should improve on?
Oh, 100%. There's tons of things I should improve on. But then I'm like, I'm trying to schedule my chill time, and I'm like, how am I going to chill? When am I going to chill?
This motherfucker's scheduling.
Dude, there was a long time, and I don't do it anymore since I don't have to do it anymore since I'm just training Monday through Thursdays. But when I was training Mondays through Saturdays, I would literally put in my calendar every Sunday the time I'm going to wake up, the times I'm going to work out, the times I'm going to leave for, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I could literally open my calendar and look at my entire day broken down by 30-minute intervals, hour-long intervals.
How long did that take to actually set that stuff up?
Not long, and it was definitely helpful, and I think just because I'm so type A and schedule-oriented that it would definitely help me to do, but it's just like, I shouldn't say I don't. It's very difficult for me, and I haven't taken the steps to properly just relax and just chill. If I'm going to do that, it has to be blocked out. It has to be programmed. It has to be planned. Because otherwise, I feel like a lazy sack of shit.
Well, I think that's okay, planning to just chill. But I think, like, if you are trying to chill, but you're still planning for other stuff, then you're not really chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just started chilling,
No, it definitely barely. Helps. Yeah, no, I think it's important, man. It's important. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it is, dude. Especially when, like, you realize what you're able to do in a day.
Yeah.
Like, what your capabilities are. And then you start realizing what you should do in a day. And then it's like, damn, why should I rest? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, am I capable of more? Sure. Yeah, so it's just kind of like a big thing too is like, since I'm personal training, a commitment to another client is just like, Cora,
she's like, hell no.
Cora, go.
Come on.
Good girl. No. No. Go see mom.
Come here.
Go. Go on.
Cora, come here.
Go.
Please.
Say Cora here.
Cora, here.
There you
Cora,
go.
here.
You gotta open the door all the way. There you
Cora, come on.
Go.
Come on. Baby.
Hey. Go. Get inside.
I'm sorry.
Turn.
No,
Turn. Inside. Inside.
Come on.
Inside.
Girl. I know.
Good girl.
I know.
What were we talking about?
Fuck, I forgot.
Chilling.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just don't chill well.
I chilled last night with you gotta meet them. Kevin and Adil.
Alright.
They're so it's you, Kevin, Adil, and then Michael. Remember Michael Flores?
Yeah, we went to high school with him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel like we had maybe one class together. I don't know if I knew him super well. I follow him on Instagram because he's been doing some powerlifting, right? Yeah.
But y'all are my best friends. And I finally got to chill with Adil and Kevin. They are so funny, bro.
Yeah.
Have you been next to or like hung out with me and my sister Aubrey?
Uh-uh.
We're crackheads, bro.
Crackheads?
When we're together, like, I don't know. I literally don't know how else to explain it besides that we're crackheads.
Yeah.
But Kevin and Adil, they have like that same crackhead vibe.
Crackhead vibes.
Yeah, dude, which I just realized last night. And I think it was 6 hours, dude. No, it was 5 hours from 5 p.m. to... no, it was like 4.5. From 5 p.m. to 9:30, all we did was kick the shit and just laugh.
That's funny.
That whole freaking time.
That's funny.
My cheeks, my head, everything.
Those are the best kind of friendships, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, they were, man. They're
awesome.
great. But speaking about that, we're actually gonna start a podcast, another one.
Nice. Fuck yeah.
We're going through names, but we don't have a set name yet. But it's literally just gonna be a BS, just laughing, crackhead podcast, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I think my eyes are like closing.
Yeah. You want to wrap it up?
No.
No?
No, I don't want to wrap it up.
All right. What do you want to talk about next?
I'm thinking about moving out, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are you going to move?
I'm still, a little bit in debt, but
You should move out here.
I was thinking about that, man. But I was looking on Zillow. There weren't many houses out here.
Well, are you trying to buy a house or rent a house, or are you trying to get
Rent.
an apartment?
Rent.
Are you
Not
trying
an
to...
apartment. Rent a house. And the reason why I'm assuming that I can't buy is because... So the way that my parents were explaining it to me is that if I was to rent, then the homeowner would look at the accumulative income of all the people that would be staying there.
Correct.
But if I was to buy, that they would be looking at like individual, or if they're together and they're a couple.
Yeah,
then they
if
would look
you
at that.
you wanted to buy the house, it would be you buying the house.
Yeah, exactly.
So you solely would have to make enough for the bank to approve the loan, or whoever to approve the loan.
Exactly.
And you would have to have X amount to put down.
So it's just not realistic to buy it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you have like potential roommates?
Yeah. So me, Kevin, and potentially Adil. Adil is, I believe he's Pakistani.
What's that got to do with anything?
But no, like in his culture, it's very normal for them to
Live at home for a
yeah
long
to
time.
live at home for for however long.
Yeah.
Not to dog on him or anything.
No, I mean if it's the norm.
I always
it's the
joke
norm.
with him on that. But,
No, if it's the norm, it's the norm.
yeah, exactly. But I just decided to bring it up to him. But he's actually considering it. And then there's this other dude named Matt Sanchez.
Just name dropping over here, man.
I know, right? Kevin Adil and Matt Sanchez. I knew Matt since like high school, but we don't really talk much. But he's always been a friend. So we met up last night, and we were talking about the house. Looking at houses, but we're hoping to do it sometime around January.
Yeah. If you're trying to rent, usually the income of all the people living there has to be at least 3 times what the monthly rent would be.
Mm.
So like if it was $1,000 to rent a place, you guys gotta make at least $3,000 a month together.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah,
make sense? Just to use easy numbers.
yeah. We would be able to.
Yeah, I mean
For
when you
that.
have that many people, you'd be fine. Because then, of course it depends, but like you could probably find a good house to rent for whatever $1,500 a month, depending where. So then it's like between 3 of you or 4 of you split it up. That's $500 a month each or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's nothing.
And there was a bunch of places that were like 1,500 for 3 people, but Matt coming in was a new thing. So I don't even know if we're going to
Yeah.
move in with Matt,
Yeah.
but
Where are y'all looking?
we're looking everywhere. Or
Yeah.
within an hour of like the McKinney area.
Okay.
So
So
we're
y'all
looking.
could look at Sherman.
Yeah, we're looking at Sherman. We're looking at Anna. We're looking at Salina, Prosper, McKinney,
Yeah.
Denison, Little Elm,
Yeah.
Fresco, but not really Fresco because they're expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. When a couple of buddies of mine and I were renting a house in Frisco, it was like a 3,200 square foot house, and it was brand new. So it was a nice house, but dude, we were paying $3,500 a month to live there. So I was renting a bedroom in that house for $950 a month,
That is crazy.
which is crazy. And
$300
you know,
more, and you got your own apartment.
dude, well, I don't want to say the specific of what we pay for our mortgage, but I'll say it's between Brianna and I, it's significantly cheaper than me renting that bedroom every month.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're in a scenario to whatever save some money to buy a house, that's definitely your best move.
Yeah.
Because then you're not burning money on rent either. It's all equity into the home.
I think that I would have to. So first of all, I'm gonna talk to my supervisor. I don't know if it's her that I would specifically talk to, but so what my job does is they put like I believe like 30% of my paycheck every month into like a pension.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if there's like any leeway, if I could
make that a
have
smaller,
that not
smaller
happen.
percentage.
Yeah, exactly.
You might be able to.
Which I didn't. This is how bad I am with finances. Like I didn't even know that was happening until like 8 months later, and I was like, wait a minute.
Nah, dude.
I'm getting $1,200 a month, and I should be getting like $2,000.
It took you that long to notice? Come on, bro.
I know, man.
Oh,
I think that was just me, ignoring.
Yeah.
And
thinking it's all good.
Just bliss and ignorance.
Yeah. Ignorance is bliss, man. It's the damn truth, dude.
I
really is.
I remember when I was running low on money, I would never log into my bank account because bliss is ignorance,
Really?
man.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, well, if I don't see the number, then
It doesn't exist.
it doesn't exist, man.
See, man, you gotta be conscious, dude.
Yeah, horrible way to live.
See, I think of it the other way, because to me it's like, all right, if my checking account's got $30, I gotta figure some shit out. You know what I mean?
That's the way that I think about it now.
Yeah.
Which it never gets that low anymore.
Yeah.
So, thankfully.
Yeah. But we always got to go through that, man. You got to figure. I remember I was when I first moved out of my parents' place. I had a decent amount of savings, but I was really adamant about not pulling out, unless like I was gonna starve.
Mm.
And I would never ask my parents for money, and I still wouldn't.
Mm.
But I remember, dude, I would take like all the change in my car console, and I'd take it to Kroger to like get it all processed, and then I would take like.
Wow.
Yeah, instead of you can get a voucher for cash, but it's like they take like 5% if you do that or something like that.
Yeah.
So then I would just get the Amazon gift card and I'd buy whatever I needed off of Amazon.
Mm.
So like
So you were being creative with.
Yeah, dude, I would like a couple times I like went and sold clothes to Plato's Closet just to get a couple bucks, like just stuff I was never wearing. I was Facebook Marketplace and stuff sometimes if I needed to.
You're a doer, bro.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, it's
like you don't play around with being stuck in the planning phase or anything.
Yeah,
like as soon as you're done planning, you go. Foom.
Yeah, plan don't mean shit without action around it.
Yeah.
So, a map doesn't get you anywhere. Your feet get you somewhere. Your map just tells you how to.
Isn't that dumb that I used to always ignore that? Like I'd be like, oh, I'm planning. I'm still planning.
I don't know if it's dumb, man, but it's like that's just how people are.
I think it's going back to the freaking ignorance is bliss, bro. You tell yourself that you need to keep on planning in order to make the execution perfect, when in reality...
Well, that just circles back to the consciousness thing. I was talking about, like, when I'm working out, I'm trying to be, like, hyper-present and hyper-focused, and that's because, like, if I was just going through the motions, I'm going to get not even half the result. I'm going to get a quarter of the result if I'm lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, it makes more sense to just dial it in and actually pay attention and be conscious and be aware and, think about what's going on. And that's with anything, though, man. Like, we're sitting here having this conversation, and there's two ways it could go. I could either pay attention to what you're saying and listen to what you're saying and respond to that, or I could just wait for you to finish talking to say whatever I was thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gotta be present.
That's what it's just with everything. It's with everything.
Exactly.
You know?
We feed off of each other, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't be a one-sided, and that's with everything in life.
Well,
Nothing
that's
can
how.
be one-sided.
Yeah, and that's how many people do you know that are like that? That are like, it's evident that. I mean, we're all guilty of it. I've done it. I'm sure. You know, just waiting for someone to finish talking so you can say your piece.
Especially when it's something that you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm. Or something you have a strong opinion about, and that's politics, bro.
Yeah.
That's politics, man. Like, that's why I've always thought the biggest. I shouldn't say that. Something I think is really silly is talking about politics on Facebook.
Yes.
Because
dude.
it's like, you mean to tell me that you think that you can type words and change someone's opinions on some of the biggest, most controversial subjects? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, all you're doing, one, it's either you're making a fool of yourself. Two, it's like you're being categorized as one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3, you know, maybe you have a couple people that are like, yeah.
It's like, of course, conversation needs to happen. I'm not saying conversation shouldn't happen, but I'm saying Facebook and text is not the way for it to happen. It's got to be like
what's the end game?
In-person face. Yeah, you got to, because you can't. Your level of communication is so significantly reduced with typing and words. You know what I mean? That it's just like, how can you? And you're talking about these subjects like taxation, abortion, COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah, crazy
that
ass
like
polar subject.
Yeah, exactly. Like some of the biggest things that you can have a conversation about, and you're trying to do it in one of the most inefficient ways of text. Like, what the fuck, man?
And then where can you even use empathy? You know, in dialogue like that.
You can't understand what the other person's saying or trying to communicate.
And you don't even know if you're reading it right.
Yeah.
You know? They could have the exact opposite meaning, but the way that you read it, it's like, oh, you know, fuck this motherfucker now. Yeah. When in reality, you know, his opinion may be the same as yours, but you just read it wrong.
Yeah.
And so.
And honestly, man, like I don't think it's a bad thing for people to have differing opinions. Like.
We have to, man.
Like you can't. I feel like it's a bad move to try to shove your opinion and your views onto everybody else.
Yeah.
So, that's my 2 cents there.
It's a horrible thing. Everything is like what is it? The tango?
A dance?
Yeah, a dance, bro.
Yeah.
Like our conversation, our dialogue.
It's a dance.
It's a dance. We
Gotta
go back and forth.
Gotta give and take.
I think Elliot Holst, this motherfucker. I think he talked about yeah. But also talking about like, you know, the texting and the Facebook posts. I feel like that's also like with face masks, dude. I feel so disconnected with people when I'm wearing these face masks.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on the bus and I have a face mask, and you know people walk by.
To the kids.
Yeah, it's like you can't even smile at them because you're.
Yeah.
You know, you can't see anything, and it's like.
Yeah.
And then when you talk, it's all muffled like this.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I said da. It's like.
Yeah. To be honest, man, I don't even try half the time. I just try to like communicate the simplest, like, you know, hi, how are you? Know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even trying to have a conversation then.
Which is
like,
so dull, you know?
It's tough, man. And so I don't know. I'm not saying the mask things aren't important because they are.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's tough, man. It's hard to make happen. What's up, Morty?
What you smell?
What's up, Morty?
Small fart.
Shit.
But yeah, dude. So I got a packed day today.
What are you doing?
So woke up, went to school, came over here. Then I'm gonna go home, you know, eat, do my website stuff, go back to work, and then when I get off, I go back home, eat, take a shitload of caffeine, go to for a specific reason.
You deadlifting today?
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
How'd you know?
You told me.
I did? Oh, shit. Did I?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I got horrible memory,
I
bro.
think you told me on Monday, maybe.
But,
because I was going to ask you if you wanted to work out after this.
Oh.
Then I knew you were deadlifting later.
Bro, come and deadlift with me. Destination Dallas. Yeah, it's a long drive. It's like an hour drive.
Plus, I'll look like a bitch. No, I'm kidding.
No, bro,
but yeah, it is a long drive. And you know, man, I don't know if this just is because I haven't had a training partner in so long, and because I've been working out in my garage a lot, but like, don't get me wrong, I would love a training partner, but I think I would lose that meditation in my workout. You know
you will, bro.
Yeah. Which I don't know if that's like necessarily a bad thing, because like we just talked about, like I definitely need to, you know, drop the gas a little bit and go to work, but which I'm sure would help in that kind of environment. But I don't know, man. I really enjoy like it's good alone time.
Yeah.
Too.
That's maybe that's your chill time.
It could be, man, because I'm a fucking introvert at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
Like I really am, and so I honestly feel drained after doing clients and sessions all day. Even though one-on-one's not bad for me, but it's just, you know, the accumulation of it. So when I get to put my headphones in and kind of just do my thing and enjoy, really helps. Really helps.
For me, I feel like this is a meditation for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't really socialize much, but like doing this podcast and then hanging out with my friends last night, dude, I feel better today than I have felt in so long, bro. Like I just feel upbeat. I feel ready to go.
Yeah.
like there were some like the kids on the bus or the high school kids I don't really talk to. Like, you know, I usually put my podcast in, but I guess it was from all the socializing last night. As soon as they got on the bus, boom, take my shit out.
This morning.
Boom, just started talking to them.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and then, you know, I go to the gas station. There's a lady with a cool sticker on the back of the car.
Tell her
I'm
you
like,
like
hey,
it.
you know, I like it. You know,
Yeah.
how are you doing? And, you know, bye, have a great day.
Yeah.
And then, you know, here talking to you for like an hour. And it's just,
Feel good.
it's a meditation, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it feels so good, you know,
Yeah.
socializing.
To like, yeah, communicate with people. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's fair, man. Definitely, like humans, we're social beings. You know, we need communication. I agree. For me, like every time I hang out with a group of friends, I think to myself, I got to do this more often.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's fulfilling, man.
for sure,
Like, feel something in your soul.
for sure.
But it's also like, I don't know. It sounds like it could become a chore until you're actually doing it.
Oh yeah,
You know?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
There's always like a. That's
I
with
could-
anything though. You're like, oh, I gotta do this. Hey, buddy. What you doing, Bubba? Big yawn. Good boy. Go see Chris. Hey. Go see Chris. Good boy.
Hey, so how was that? The trip?
It was good, man.
You gotta tell me about how y'all got lost.
So we took
Let me see how long this is.
You're good. We took a trail in the Washita. I'm sure I'm butchering that forest. And how long we at?
1 hour and 11 minutes.
Cool.
So you want to talk about this and then?
Yeah, that sounds good. So to make a long story short, man, we hiked about 4 or 5 miles in to this little waterfall thing, and it was a pretty tough hike. Like there was a lot of like narrow paths and like a little climbing you had to do. Like it was cool. It was fun.
Wow.
And then we turned around and the sun started going down. The sun goes down at like 5:30 now, and it was probably like 3 o'clock when we turned around, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And there's a point where we kind of diverged off the path, and I realized we were lost. And I wasn't trying to say anything to Brianna, but in my head I was like,
Didn't
okay,
want to freak
we got to go. Yeah, we got to go back to where we were most recently. And so she realized we were lost, and so we did some circling, and then I was like, all right, let's just go back to the last place we were at on the trail, because neither of us have any fucking survival skills or anything like that. So I was like, let's just go back to the last place we were. And after we did that, we figured out where we were. But I mean, like, sun was going down. We were in the middle of the forest, like
And this is
surrounded
like-
by no one.
It's not just a small trail.
No. This is like, I mean, you're in like the Washita Forest. Like it's,
That's
yeah. I mean, we were where we were at the
Hell
time.
no,
There was
bro.
nothing but forest. Probably in like a, 5-mile radius.
oh
maybe.
my
Yeah,
god.
because we had to drive like 20 minutes through the mountains and the trees just to get to the start of the trail. So like we definitely, by the time we got back to the truck, we probably made it back like 45 minutes before it was dark.
And how
But
long
it was
the whole walk?
dusk, and we could tell it was getting darker. At the end of it, I had 25,000 steps, so it was like 10 miles.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but like 5 in, 5 back, 4 or 5 in, 4 or 5 back.
That's a couple hours, right?
Oh yeah. We started at like 11:30, and we got back to the truck at like 4:30, 4:45. But sun starts going down. It's in the mountains, so you could. The part of it that was probably the scariest was it was like we could tell every time it got darker.
Yeah, it
You
gets
know.
dark quick, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Especially with this daylight saving
Yeah.
time.
But
man.
to be honest, yeah, like I mean, we got lost, but seriously, as soon as we went back to right where we
You're like, oh,
the
okay.
last place, I was standing right where we were, and we had just went a little left instead of going the way we were supposed to.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny, bro.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Got real turned around. But like what I will say is, in the trail, I guess I just kind of felt like we were going pretty much the same direction the whole time.
Mm.
And then when we turned around, I was like, okay, we're just going the same way back. But when I was like looking at my phone compass thing, I was like, wait a second. I was like, yeah, it was like I thought I was going one direction, but really I was going deeper into the forest.
That's fucking.
That's the neighbor dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was something. It was pretty funny. It was,
pretty funny.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah,
or
my heart-
after, I bet.
Yeah, but again, like as soon as we went back to where we were good, but there was like 20 minutes before we did that.
Bree was Bree crying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bet, dude.
Yeah, she was freaking out.
That'd be some scary
Yeah,
shit.
which I can't blame her. I mean,
Uh-uh.
very scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, I've seen too many scary.
I know, right? Yeah.
Morty. I think I can hit him from here. I bought when we first moved out here. I bought a couple of like cheap water guns to like spray them, but they're pieces of shit. And they would, I mean, I couldn't even shoot the fence from here. But I need to get like some legit super soakers just so I can snipe them from across the backyard. Yeah. All right, bro. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, man. Plug your shit.
All right. My Instagram is Alex Chris Martin. You can find all of my personal training and social media content there. My website is alexchrismartin.com, where you can find out about personal training with me and online coaching. You can sign up for my Monday email there too. I also have a free chest training guide. I think that's it.
Are you selling these?
No, that was a limited line.
Oh,
maybe one of these days I
missed
will.
out. This fabric is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So y'all can follow me on Instagram. My lifting account is Toro, I believe Toro_strong.
That sounds right.
Either Toro Strong or Toro
You'll find it.
_strong. Yeah, you'll find it. And then my creative account where I do everything else is Cholito Saldana.
You get that little like stereotypical
Yeah.
Mexican tone there. You say Cholito Saldana.
Cholito Saldana. And I guess that's kind of all I have now.
All right, bet.
Yeah, that's all my accounts right now.
Yeah.
But website coming soon, and then a shitload of content. So,
Fuck yeah. Cool.
all right, man.
Next podcast will be up next week.
Cave Dwellers, baby.
Yeah.
See ya.
Episode 3 or 4.
3.
3.
I love how we're making this happen, man.
Yeah, dude.